trying to pass it up to Dowling, and there's the pass to Dowling. Dowling going to take a shot. Audrey Keeter across to Keyser. Keyser shot in and goal! Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. It is the opening round for the Founders Conference, our first match, the Vermont Chargers versus the Houston Fireballs Central team. For Power Soccer Shop, I'm Tony Jackson, and we are about to get underway here. A quick rundown of the starting lineups. For Vermont, in goal, number 2, Kim Salzman. Also out on the floor, number 16, Seth Boulanger. In the middle, number 33, Nathan Basayo. And here on our near side, number 5, Zach Schmoll. For Houston, in goal, number 15, Kirsten Passmore. And there is a shot directly on goal, just wide of the post. Early goings here. Let's watch that one more time, ladies and gentlemen. Nate Basayo from the kickoff decides to go straight on goal and almost scores for the Vermont Chargers. So Kirsten Passmore making that save. Also out on the floor, getting ready to take this kick, number 21, Jackson Long. And joining him, number 13, Barrett Dameron. And number 7, Natalie Brackett. Basayo over to Schmoll. Long. Basayo sends that one off of Long, and another kick-in coming up for Vermont. Schmoll give and go with Basayo. Dameron. Long with the ball. Zach Schmoll now trying to make a move into the Houston goal area. Boulanger with the ball. Brackett sends it out. Basayo taking on Jackson Long. Trying to get around Basayo. Basayo, the pass to Schmoll. That ball sent out of play. Basayo winding up for the kick, cut off by Long. And now Basayo couldn't get onto that ball. It was last touched by Boulanger. Dameron sends it through off of Schmoll, 2-on-1 violation. Vermont Chargers. Indirect free kick coming up for Houston. Natalie Brackett going to take this kick. Long sitting at the top of the goal area. Dameron sitting at the far post. Dameron ready for a deflection to come through. Basayo cuts it off. Dameron touches the ball, but now Boulanger for the Vermont Chargers trying to go the other way with it. Jackson Long trying to turn him around. Heavy contact. Play continues. Boulanger with the ball. Schmoll loses sight of the ball, and it's just going to roll out of play. Brackett right into Basayo. Long. Basayo. Again, heavy contact initiated by Jackson Long. but Basayo holds on. Nice move, Jackson Long, to earn a kick in for Houston. Basayo sends that over to Belanger, who sends it down the floor. This is on goal. Passmore's going to have to make a play on it. Basayo now passes it across. Schmoll can't latch onto it. Brackett now tries to clear the area. Basayo over to Schmoll. Zach Schmoll cut off by Passmore. Nicely done. Kirsten Passmore very alert down there in the Houston goal area. Basayo winding up for another kick, trying to find a hole in that Houston defense. Basayo down to Schmoll. Schmoll sends it out to the top of the area. Basayo is going to be there to collect it. Schmoll, Passmore, good aggressive goalkeeping there. Kirsten Passmore, and now she's just going to send it out and give her defense an opportunity to set up here. Schmoll pressuring Houston, but Houston clears. Contact. Passmore also with contact. And we're going to get a foul just outside the goal area. Kirsten Passmore, too much contact. And so a direct free kick coming up for the Vermont Chargers. Let's see if they can score. Long and Passmore have a lot of area to cover. Basayo going to shoot straight on goal. Nathan Basayo with a goal. The Vermont Chargers are on the board thanks to Nathan Basayo. Let's watch that again. Passmore trying to figure out where that ball is going, and she reacts just a little too late. 1-0 Vermont Chargers. Houston Fireballs making their USPSA Nationals debut. Another Texas team out here as well, Straps Scorpions, also making their debut. So great to see the state of Texas finally represented here at Nationals. It's been a long time coming. Both those teams have been around for a couple years now, and they have finally made their way out. So it's great to see them here. Welcome, Texas. We hope to continue seeing you out here every year. Brackett trying to equalize. Barrett Dameron waiting at the far post, and Jackson Long just trying to disrupt this Vermont defense a little bit. That ball, Saltzman, that ball slits through. Long now trying to drive Basayo. Long looking to bounce it off of Basayo, but it bounces off of Long's chair. Schmoll cuts that ball behind Long. Dameron sends it past Schmoll. Now he has to deal with Basayo, but he gets right around him. Barrett Dameron trying to get around Saltzman, and she's going to let that roll out for a corner kick. Good defense, Saltzman. Brackett taking this kick. Long's there. Long with a shot off of Basayo. Basayo now clearing the area, but it looks like they're going to take this kick again. Basayo may have, it looks like Saltzman was over the goal line. Her wheel still over the goal line, and their front caster very close. So Houston going to take this kick again. Basayo cuts it off. It gets behind him. And there's contact in the area. Dameron with a shot behind Basayo. Jackson Long with a shot. It rolls over the goal line, and Jackson Long has equalized for the Houston Fireballs. Let's watch that again. Dameron, that shot goes behind Basayo, and Jackson Long was there to clean it up. Now Vermont going to take the kick, and folks, we have a game. On court 2, St. Louis versus Turnstone Furious Flyers. That match in the 8th minute coming up here, and they are scoreless. Back here on court 1, Basayo and Long doing battle. We'll get you updates from courts 3 and 4 as soon as we can. But as I mentioned in the first game, now all 4 courts action going on. Schmoll driving towards the Houston goal area. Long trying to keep him out. Nicely done, Jackson Long, but he can't control it. A little too quick on the touch. And now Vermont trying to regain their lead. Basayo with a shot, blocked off by Long, nicely done. Now Brackett racing down the floor. Basayo trailing back to defend, and that ball off of Basayo out of play for a kick-in. Now the referee signaled, he is signaling a kick-in. Let's see what the call is here. It is going to be a kick-in. Brackett taking this kick. Lots of space behind the Vermont defenders at the moment, and now Basayo kind of shores that up. Brackett off of Saltzman. Brackett now trying to pressure Vermont. Brackett, Basayo, Long attacking. That ball out of play. Kick in, Vermont Chargers. Now a kick in coming up for Houston. Barrett Dameron with a kick all the way across. Brackett's there. Brackett with a shot saved by Basayo. Close to a 2-on-1 violation. Advantage called. Not quite sure whose advantage that is. Out of play, Houston now with a kick-in coming up. And it looks like Saltzman's within 5 meters of that ball, so referee trying to get her to move over just a little bit. Houston really far away from that goal area. Now Jackson Long driving down. That ball gets across. Dameron Long with it. 2-on-1 violation on Houston. And I think if Dameron didn't touch that ball, Jackson Long would have been there to at least make a play on it and try to generate a shot on goal. But an indirect free kick for Vermont coming up. Boulanger right into Long. Basayo clears that ball. Brackett, Zach Schmoll. Schmoll, that ball knocked out of play by Passmore. I have to say I've been pretty impressed so far with the smart but aggressive goalkeeping by Kirsten Passmore. She's done really well so far. Basayo directing traffic here, looking to launch that ball across. Zach Schmoll waiting at the far post. That ball gets across, but Jackson Long is there to cut it off. Basayo takes a shot. Passmore sends it out of play again. And it looks like we're going to make a substitution for Houston. Allie Funk coming into the match. Coming out, Barrett Dameron. So Allie Funk making her debut at USPSA Nationals. That ball cut off again by Passmore. Nicely done. Long clears the area. Funk loses possession of the ball. Zach Schmoll trying to work around her now. And Zach Schmoll tried to be tricky but ended up losing possession. So a kick in coming up for Houston. Funk sends that right into Zach Schmoll, who sends it right back out. Another kick in coming up for Houston. Oh, and that's a touch by Allie Funk. Now, it's a live ball, but the referee blows the whistle. That's a live ball. I'm not quite sure. That ball's still on the touchline, so it should still be a live ball. But it's going to be a kick in for Vermont. And Passmore again, nicely done to pick out that lane and clear the area. And now Basayo has to go all the way back to chase it. And Allie Funk now putting pressure on Vermont. Funk trying to get around Basayo, but she can't get her chair straightened out in time. And that's going to be a foul on Allie Funk, it looks like. Let's see, the referees are talking to each other. And I think they're going to get Funk for backing into Basayo. Basayo off of Funk. And Basayo can't hold on to that, so kick in coming up for Houston. 19th minute, we're level at 1. Both teams trying to find that tiebreaker. Basayo cuts off that ball. Boulanger can't get to it before it goes out. Brackett, the kick over to Long. It goes over to Boulanger, though. Close to a 2-on-1 violation. And the referee is going to call it indirect free kick coming up for Houston. Desayo redirects that ball towards the Houston goal area. Now Funk winding up for a shot, but Jackson Long kept moving with the ball, and so she had to move out. Now Saltzman touched that ball. Corner kick coming up. Houston looking to take the lead. And Brackett's going to kick it from the bottom corner of that triangle. Now, if you notice, the courts here at Turnstone have that metal beveling around the court, and sometimes it can throw you off your rhythm when you're trying to take a spin kick. So let's see if this is a bit better for Brackett. Brackett, long shot, saves Saltzman. Long, the last to touch it, kick in. Vermont. Added time here in the first half. If you're just joining us, Vermont got on the board first, and then Houston tied it up. Funk trying to control that ball, sends it across. Brackett now. Brackett with a shot. Blocked by Schmoll. Long into Basayo. Basayo off of Funk. Basayo off of Funk again. And that ball is going to roll out. Another kick in coming up for Vermont. But not before the halftime whistle blows. So we're going to take a break. Vermont Chargers, Houston Fireballs, level at 1. We'll be back with the second half. You're watching the 2019 USPSA MK Battery Conference Cup Series. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Second half about to begin. Houston Fireballs, Vermont Chargers, level at 1. And joining me in the broadcast booth for this second half from the SoCal Vaqueros, the one and only Steve Everett. Steve, welcome to Fort Wayne.
Thanks for having me. Excited for a great weekend of power soccer. Looks like we got a good match here.
Houston Fireballs, Vermont Chargers, indeed a good match. Vermont, if you're just joining us, scoring first, and then Houston finding the equalizer. That ball deflects down the floor, and now Boulanger for Vermont. Coming up to make a play is Passmore. Barrett Dameron stops the ball. Basayo looking to make a pass. That ball cleared out by Long, and it goes out of play for a Vermont kick-in. And Steve, I was saying before you got here earlier, the Houston Fireballs and Straps Scorpions both making their USPSA Nationals debut. So an exciting time for the state of Texas.
Absolutely. They've played for a little while. I know the Houston was the first group there, and super excited to finally have them playing at a conference level.
Yeah, they're all excited to be here. Had a chance to chat with the San Antonio team, the Straps team, earlier today, and they're just thrilled to be here. So they are actually on court 4, leading 1-0 right now in their first match against the Dassa Firecrackers. On court 3, Wisconsin Warriors, San Jose Rockets, scoreless. And on court 2, St. Louis Arrows leading the Turnstone Furious Flyers 1-0.
Right here.
Basayo going to take this kick for Vermont. Zach Schmoll lets that ball slide through. It's cut off by Funk. Jackson Long, the pass, it's cut off by Basayo. Close to a 2-on-1 violation. Boulanger, that ball slides through everybody, but it goes out of play. Goal kick coming up for Houston.
I see Vermont trying to put a little pressure on them, Tony.
They are really trying to put some pressure on Houston. Again, Vermont, a very experienced team. They've been around for a long time, trying to take advantage of the inexperience by Houston. But Houston holding their own right now against the Chargers. Allie Funk actually now going to take the ball, and she touches it with the front of her chair. It's going to roll out for a Vermont goal kick. Vermont Chargers without a key player, Scott Goyette, not here at Nationals. So that's going to affect them a lot because they rely on Scott Goyette to do a lot. But to their credit, they are doing pretty well right now in their first match.
Yeah, Scott's a key component of their team for sure.
Nate Basayo looking to take the kick. He's going to slide it right through everybody, and it's going to roll out for a pretty deep kick in for Houston.
That's not a bad play, Tony. Now that you put the offense way back in their corner, so I like this.
Yeah, from a tactical standpoint, sometimes it's good to just kick the ball out of play and put pressure on the other team from a defensive standpoint. And Houston making a change. Allie Funk coming off, coming back on. Number 7, Natalie Brackett. Barrett Dameron off of Zach Schmoll. Dameron, Schmoll. Now this is the pressure we were talking about moments ago. And that ball off of Schmoll and in the goal. That one bounced off the post. Vermont Chargers now lead 2-1. Let's watch that again. And you see here, Dameron sends the ball out. Schmoll. Now, earlier I was talking about the aggressiveness of Kirsten Passmore. That's a moment where you don't want to be aggressive because that is exactly what could happen.
I agree, Tony. I think the way the game is played these days, they're looking for ricochets off of teams and players and stuff. So there's no doubt about it that was a result of a ricochet play and a good follow by the offensive player to put the goal in the back of the net.
Jackson Long into Basayo. Basayo clears that ball. It's going to roll out, and Passmore holds up her hand. She's not going to touch that ball. Smart play. Goal kick coming up for Houston. And, Steve, I have to say, we all get together but once a year, and just taking in the scene for a moment, it's awesome to see power soccer happening all over this venue. Turnstone's a huge facility, and it's just filled with power soccer right now.
Yes, absolutely. It's just an exciting time. This is our favorite time of the year right here. And I do believe this is, if I'm not mistaken, the most teams that we've had compete at a national tournament as well.
That's correct. We have 39 teams out here over the next 4 days competing for national championships. If you missed our first match of the day, I explained that we have 4 different conferences out here over the next 4 days competing for championships. The Founders, Presidents, Champions, and Premier conferences are all vying for titles. The Champions and Premier conferences will start tomorrow when you will be playing, Steve Everett.
Yes, looking forward to that.
Now, Dameron with a deflection. It's bounced out of play by Saltzman. Kick in coming up for Houston, and an opportunity to try to nick an equalizer here.
Looks like they're building the wall right now, Tony, defensively.
Yeah, you've seen this tactic all throughout Europe and Asia over the years, and it's really made its way to the United States over the last, I would say, 2 years or so, and really filtering down to the lower level teams. As I mentioned moments ago, this is a Founders Conference game. Founders Conference is the 4th out of 4 levels in U.S. Power Soccer. But even now here we see Founders Conference teams using the wall setup. So we'll see if Houston can figure out a way to break it. Brackett and Dameron are going to take a switch of positions here. Dameron looking like he's going to send that ball all the way through. Now no one at the far post for Houston as Brackett is retreated to the center circle. And that ball just touched by Basayo. That was on goal. If Basayo didn't get that, that was going to be a goal.
Yeah, it was a good angle. I wasn't sure they were going to be able to create that angle, but that was a great kick there.
Dameron off of Saltzman. Saltzman with the save again. Goal kick, Vermont. On court 3, an update in score. Wisconsin Warriors up 1-0 over the San Jose Rockets. That match in the 28th minute. Brackett taking on Basayo. Out of play, kick in coming up for Vermont. 29th minute here, Vermont Chargers lead 2-1.
Got a lot of room to work here, it looks like.
Schmoll, Jackson Long. The pass out to Dameron. Dameron goes behind Schmoll. Long, back over to Dameron. Good passing by this Houston team. Saltzman has to come up and make a play on it. And Dameron, he could have really just kind of let that ball roll a little bit and take his time to get around it to pass it back, which is what I think he wanted to do with it. But he just rushed himself a little too much there. So goal kick coming up for Vermont.
This is a time where the defense really wants to smother this offense right now.
Basayo sends that ball down the floor. It's going to roll wide and out of play. And Pasmore, again, holding up her hands, letting her teammates know she's not going for it. So goal kick coming up for the Fireballs. Dameron, the pass across, no one there to collect it. So out of play, Vermont with another kick in coming up. Basayo. Long. Jackson Long sends that one back out. So Basayo will take the kick again. Update on court 2. St. Louis Arrows 2. Turnstone Furious Flyers 0. Dameron, Schmoll, that ball bounces back and forth. That is out of play. Another kick in coming up for Houston.
This is a very deep part of the court right here, Tony.
It is, and it's difficult as an offense to try to clear this area because most teams will try to put a lot of pressure on you. And you can see right now, not very many places for Brackett to pass, but somehow Houston was able to get that ball out of there. But Basayo trying to keep it in. He loses the ball. Barrett Dameron now breaking for Houston. And he gets the ball around Basayo. Basayo gets turned around.
Move.
Barrett Dameron now racing. Barrett Dameron, can he score? No, he can't. Good defense by Kim Saltzman. But as you said just a moment ago, nice move, Barrett Dameron.
Yeah, lots of times when you get that defender with his back to you, especially if they're unable to turn and look to see where the ball's going, just a little lean one way and you get them biting, they can go right behind them with the ball. That's exactly what happened.
And it looks like Saltzman needs a little bit of an adjustment on her chair. Not quite sure what happened. The referees, it looks like the knob for her joystick may have come off. Yeah, that's what happened. The knob for Saltzman's joystick came off, so the referee is trying to help her get it back on right now, and it looks like she is all set and ready to go once again. And I think the referee is just coming over to hand him a piece of her chair. It happens sometimes. There's contact out there, and parts of chairs will come flying off.
Yeah,
So,
unfortunately, that does happen.
Nate Basayo now going to take the kick for Vermont. Long. Basayo. Long waiting for that ball to come back to him. Now Long trying to make a move. Tried to pass it off to Dameron. Now Jackson Long. Jackson Long tries to get around Saltzman, and he can't do it. Let's watch that again. Jackson Long almost equalized for Houston. You see he gets around Basayo there. Nice move, wonderful turn, and he just could not get behind Saltzman. Corner kick now coming up as we rejoin live action. Natalie Brackett going to take the kick for Houston. And it looks like the Fireballs are going to make a substitution. And Barrett Dameron coming back on to take over for him. Number 28, Allie Funk.
Interesting setup, Tony. The far wing is really high above the box. Creeping in slowly.
Brackett sends the ball across. Jackson Long with a shot. He couldn't get the right angle on it. Basayo does well to block it. And now Basayo just trying to clear that area. Long. Basayo fighting. Nice move by Jackson Long to get around that ball. Now Long trying to drive Basayo. Jackson Long driving. Jackson Long rolls it in for a goal. Houston Fireballs have equalized. Let's watch that again as Jackson Long scores his second goal of the match. You see he gets around the Vermont defenders, and that ball rolls right over the line. We are level at 2.
Yeah, once he got the angle, they didn't really have a chance, that's for sure, Tony.
Coming up on the 35th minute, and the Houston Fireballs have equalized. Basayo starting play again. Zach Schmoll. Natalie Brackett trying to get around Schmoll. Nice touch there by Brackett. Really good touch there. And I know Brackett's been playing for a little bit, but this is the first time that we've seen her on a national level. And I have to say I'm pretty impressed with the way Houston's playing so far.
Absolutely. Big part of that, being able to have just good control of the ball, their chair, all that. So
and we're going to get a 2-on-1 violation on Houston. Indirect free kick coming up for the Vermont Chargers. On court 4, we have an update. Dassa Firecrackers have found a goal. It is now level at 1. as they take on the strapped Scorpions. Basayo deflected by Brackett. Basayo driving in. Nate Basayo cleared by Long. And it's out of play for another kick in favor of Vermont. Basayo trying to get Schmoll into a spot he likes. Jackson Long trying to distract Basayo, but Basayo's been playing a long time. I don't know if that's going to work. Good deflection by Passmore, and that ball's trailing all the way back to the Vermont goal area. Basayo tracks it down, and now he heads the other way. Basayo trying to turn Brackett, but Brackett manages to hold him off. Nice move. Natalie Brackett. That should be a 2-on-1 violation on Vermont, but play continues. Zach Schmoll now driving Brackett towards that corner. And that ball's still in play, and now it's out in favor of the Chargers.
This is a good spot for them to capitalize right here, Tony, no doubt.
And they're going to look to take advantage of the pace that Basayo gets, and that ball blocked out by Long. Good play by Jackson Long. Heads up as Basayo took that kick really quickly. Basayo across. Belanger's got open space. Belanger caught it off the side of his chair. And Schmoll tried to keep the attack going, but it's out of play. Now Belanger, if he had hit it with the front of his chair, that was certainly going to be a goal.
Yeah, it's really important to be able to concentrate on those types of scoring on that ball because the front of the guard actually makes the shot a little more truer. So he's just off just a little bit.
Brackett into Schmoll. Ball out of play. Vermont now with an opportunity to take the lead. 38th minute. If they score, Houston won't have a lot of time to come back. Let's see if they can do it.
Looking to go across. Maybe not.
Basayo into Schmoll. Oh, and Schmoll taps the ball. And a miscommunication between the two Houston defenders gives Vermont the lead. Let's watch it again. You see Jackson Long and Kirsten Passmore both go for the ball as Zach Schmoll does very well to just tip it between the two defenders. And the ball bounces between Houston defenders, and that gives Vermont the 3-2 lead.
Unlucky for the Houston. But you know what, Tony, we talk about this all the time. You get the ball towards the goal, you never know what's going to happen.
Indeed, and I really think that if Long had just let Passmore take the ball, then they probably wouldn't have found themselves in that situation because the ball got pinched between Long and Passmore, and that's what allowed it to pinch off their guards and roll over the line. So now Vermont in the 39th minute lead 3-2, and they have a goal kick coming up.
See if Houston can create a lot of pressure here. They're backing off a little bit. I'm not really sure.
Schmoll with the ball. Brackett is going to let that one roll out. Kick in coming up for Houston. Time's running out, but they still have a chance. Let's see what they can do here. Schmoll hits it out in a better angle now for Houston to try to get something going.
Got to create something here.
Natalie Brackett just sends that one wide. And those are the opportunities you really need to take advantage of.
I think she was trying to get it off the goal or the wall to ricochet off out of bounds to get another opportunity. Just mishit it.
Schmoll Brackett. Can Brackett get the ball down the floor? Not with Zach Schmoll there. And Brackett hits that one out of play, giving Vermont a kick in. And Nate Basayo can just take his time here and run some clock out. But he kicks it in pretty quickly. And that ball deflects back towards the goal area. Passmore trying to get it out. Basayo. Nobody in the Houston goal area. And a deflection by Passmore. Saltzman hits it. Passmore now out of the goal area, trying to get that goal back for Houston. Passmore trying to get around Saltzman. Kirsten Passmore trying to do it all on her own. Basayo tries to clear the area, and he does. Kirsten Passmore taking matters into her own hands and nearly scores for Houston.
Wow, what a play there. I love the aggressiveness.
Long with the deflection. Jackson Long with a goal! Jackson Long finds another goal. It's his third of the match. Let's watch it again. Jackson Long puts a shot off from Nate Basayo, and he takes the ricochet. Saltzman was out of position. Jackson Long scores his third goal. It is level at 3, folks, in added time. And Houston may come away with a point just yet, Steve Everett.
Yep. Boy, talk about performing under pressure.
Basayo takes a shot on goal, and that one goes just wide. Basayo trying to win that game in one shot.
I like it.
And this could be a critical result for both sides. Vermont potentially wasting 2 points. And there's the final whistle. And Jackson Long, in the dying moments of this match, scores his third goal and pulls away a point for the Houston Fireballs. What a wonderful finish in their debut.
Absolutely. These people are, I mean, these guys would just put it all together at the last minute, got the last score, tied it up. Makes for an exciting weekend to come for sure.
It certainly does. We're going to take a break. When we come back, Steve Everett taking over on the call. You're watching the 2019 USPSA MK Battery Conference Cup Series. Steve, thank you, and we'll see you in a little bit.
Thank you, Tony. Good luck today.